This is my second time recording this video. I filmed this video originally just as a sort of train of thought, free-flowing, what did 2025 look like? And I gotta say I was a little bit of a downer. It was not that great. I went through all my photos over the last couple of days, curating like a cute little Instagram post of things month by month, what I did and some of my highlights. And I realized that I actually did a lot. It was way better than I remembered it to be. That is so... I'm a little annoyed with myself for not remembering the good things as easily as I remember the bad things. And a lot of the good things were not even specific events or specific people I saw or things that I did, but it was just like a good thing that I even did them, that they even happened. I decided this year that I should just go do things regardless of whether or not I have someone to do them with, and that it's better to do something alone than to not do it at all. Like, I feel like this last year was a really big success. And I'm frustrated with myself that I really only came to that conclusion after I went through all those images. That's disappointing in myself. I'm disappointed in myself. So already for 2026, I'm feeling really motivated to change that. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like as far as that conscious effort to remember more. I think it might be in the form of videos. It's like almost meditation or deep reflection whenever you document something and then you have to spend so much time editing it. It really is such a good way to sit with what happened and what you saw and what you felt, and to like curate that story and organize all those moments into what is essentially a diary entry in the form of a vlog. Specifically, let me talk about my year a little bit. Baby boy, you want to lay down? Last year, 2 years ago now, 2024, my partner and I moved to the Pacific Northwest, and that was a big change from originally we're from Texas, so that was a really big, wonderful change. We are super happy to be here. The city of Portland has so much to offer. There's such a sense of community, and there's so many different niche groups and organizations and whimsy and people just meeting up for the fun of it on a theme. And I love being on theme, celebrating anything on a theme. I am all about that. So I feel like these are really my people here. And I have loved going out and meeting people and just reveling in the joy and fun of community and play with other human beings has been so important to me this year. Starting from the beginning of the year, let's see what I did. January was pretty quiet. It's really cold and wet here in Portland that time of year, so we didn't do a whole lot. In February, I picked out my wedding dress with my friend. We went to this really cute secondhand place, and I went in with the intention of getting like a really simple short dress, and they didn't really have that many options, so I was forced to try on ball gowns and ended up leaving with a ball gown. But hey, it was only $500 compared to retail like $2,500, so I was pretty happy with that. In March, the cherry blossoms came, and I feel like that month, March, was really the month that I started to really embrace going out and doing things by myself. There's this one park downtown. I think it's called McCall Park. Um, it just is lined with cherry blossoms, cherry trees, and so they're in full bloom. And it was so packed. I had never seen so many people in that area of Portland before. But I just like popped a squat down on a hill and took some aesthetic footage so I could get a new Instagram picture, and ended up really enjoying how that turned out. And there were so many people around that were doing the exact same thing, and everyone was just enjoying the beautiful nature. I really loved that experience. It was a lot of fun. In April, for my birthday, my partner planned a trip to this chocolate factory where we made custom chocolate candy bars, which was a lot of fun and very delicious. And it was in this old historic building as well, and the floors were really sloped. And I remember the tile on the flooring didn't line up with anything going on in the interior design of the chocolate shop. And so I was talking to the owner about the history of that building, which was really fun to just be in such a historic area. In May, I got married. It was a really small ceremony with just our closest friends as our witnesses. It was a courthouse style wedding, not at a courthouse, but in this really cool little venue that specializes in that, like, little quick weddings. And in June, I had a photo shoot with a photographer. I really wanted to just document my wedding dress, and you really only get to wear a dress like that once. And I had no intention of keeping my wedding dress, so I wanted to have fun with it in a fun photo shoot, and I had this specific vision of running through a forest in this beautiful ball gown, and which I was able to accomplish. I just wanted a really nice photo shoot. I'd never had a photo shoot like that before, where it was full of whimsy and natural lighting and just like by an actual photographer. So I treated myself to that. In July, I went to my first Pride. Portland celebrates Pride a month after everyone else because they've got to be different, I guess. But it was a huge festival, and I went by myself. In August, we went to PAX West. It was our second year going to PAX West, just a stone's throw away in Seattle. So we really like to take the Amtrak up and go be with the gamers. We also went out to Pike Place, which we had not been to before, which was a lot of fun, and tried some of the restaurants and places there that stood out to us. And in September, I went to San Francisco by myself. Never been to San Francisco before. I went for a concert, which was just a surreal experience, and for a group that I said if they ever did a world tour, I would have to go, and there was nothing gonna stop me from going, so I went, and I had great seats, and it was fantastic. I was only there for a couple of days, but I made heavy use of my time to just explore the city. I went to Japantown and walked through Chinatown, had really good dumplings from a place that my friend recommended, and a lot of really good coffee. There was this one coffee that was like black sesame or something, and it was not really, it was like charcoal coffee, and I remember being paranoid my teeth were black afterward. It was fine. Probably wouldn't get it again. In October, there's this like giant pumpkin racing thing that happens here in Portland. It was so cool. I just got a really big kick out of that, and it was such Portland experiences fall. It experiences fall. What a wonderful, wonderful fall it was. I really had such like a Hallmark-esque fall. I made sure to go out and take long walks and go and see things, like even just walking through pretty neighborhoods with houses I could never afford, seeing the fall leaves so aesthetically crunching on them. it was so wonderful. I really had a good fall, and I did most of those things by myself. For Halloween, I went out and just like took another walk by myself. Saw people in costumes at a little coffee shop, and I just had a good time. And that was so meaningful. I didn't even do much. I didn't spend any more money than I think I bought some like apple cider, hot apple cider at a cafe and watched people in costumes walk by and crunch on the fall leaves. It was fantastic. Also in October, I went to New York for the first time. I'd never been, but I got sent on a work trip, and it was just like 3 days there. Coincidentally, one of my good friends, also who lives here in Portland, was visiting, so I got to see him, and we went to like a really cool little Japanese record bar place, and I went to Times Square, and I went to the M&M store, had to, and I went to this really, I think it's called like Ichiran Ramen, near the square, where you have like a little solo dining experience where you never even talk to anybody. I mean, you at the very front when they greet you, they let you in after you order on a little kiosk, and then you sit in this booth, and then they bring you your food and lift up little blinds and put the food out and everything. But you never have to like make eye contact with anyone. You could be crying alone in your booth, not saying I was, but you could, and they would never know. New York was, I got it. I got the charm. You know, I understood the charm. I also went to Central Park and the Guggenheim. I only had enough time to go to one museum, but I decided to go to the Guggenheim. I only cried a little bit in the Impressionist artists' portrait section. Proud of myself for holding it together. I thought I would cry a lot more. In November, I flew home to go see my family, and, you know, had a good little reminder of how good I have it here, because I actually experienced fall, and it was in the 80s when I was visiting Texas in November. And of course, it was great to see my family in advance of Thanksgiving and avoid the hectic traveling chaos, and then come back and celebrate Thanksgiving with my friends and their family here, and of course my husband. And then in December, well, actually starting in October, but all through October, November, and December, we got really into bowling. I am a bowler now. We bowl. I actually need to go pick up. I just got an alert that my bowling balls have been delivered, so I need to go get those. But let me just wrap up December before I break my train of thought. December was a little bit quieter. I said goodbye to a friend that I regret not spending more time with and being a better friend to this year. I went to Krampusnacht, which was a really cool event that I had only heard of, and I saw like a few days before that it was happening, and I went, and it was just a really, I felt like it gave quintessential Portland vibes. It was just a bunch of people on a theme, showing up, having fun, taking pictures, and enjoying the community. I really loved that. And we marched through town. I wasn't in a Krampus outfit, but I was on theme. And we marched through this area of town. And what I enjoyed most was seeing all of the people looking and filming and smiling at just seeing this playfulness, that joy and playfulness that group was bringing. Well, that I was part of that group, that we were bringing to the community. I just found such a sense of fulfillment from that. And New Year's Eve, my partner and I, we went downtown. They had a drone show. It was, of course, it was blocked a little bit by the trees, but like what drone show isn't blocked a little bit by trees? And how thankful I am to be able to say that I live in a city where there's so many trees that even when they have a big drone show on New Year's, it's blocked by the trees. I'm so happy to be living in such a beautiful place. It is so green. It's so lush. It's so beautiful. Even now, in the dead of winter, there's so many trees with leaves still. There's evergreens. And the rain, I just love the weather here. So overall, banger of a year. I just really had such a good year. And I feel really good energy and momentum moving into 2026. Knock on wood. That is a solid wood desk I just knocked on, for the record. So that's me bragging quite a bit about what I did in 2025. I hope to see much more of me on camera, you in the comments, maybe. I don't know if anyone's even going to watch this, but I hope that there's much more of this coming in 2026. I really want to document more and fully appreciate the wonderful, the wonder, the wonder of the things I have around me, the things, the people, the opportunities, feeling grateful. The world is a shitty place. It's a hard place. And there, like I mentioned before, I could only remember the bad things when I first was reflecting on 2025. There were plenty of bad things, but there were more good things. And I hope 2026 is just the same. Okay, that's enough of my soapbox. Is this lighting crazy for a video? We'll see. I don't know, I may hate it in the end.